Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Brian with Games Under Pressure, bringing you a look at Shadow Complex Remastered. This game was just announced a few days ago at the 2015 Game Awards. We knew the game was coming. It had leaked a few days prior to the announcement. We just didn't know when or where it would be announced. Well, when they announced it at the Game Awards, there were two things that really took people off guard. The first is that it was available to download immediately, so you could pause the Game Awards, you could go and download this game, and it was there. The second, and probably most surprising thing about the announcement is that for PC users, this game is free, which is almost a little bit hard to believe. I was sort of in shock when they announced that. It's going to be free for the entire month of December. The game is going to be coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One sometime in 2016. We don't have a date. We also don't have a dollar amount for the game. We don't know how much this game is going to cost when it ceases to be free on the PC and when it becomes available on the PlayStation 4 and on the Xbox One. I doubt it will be free, though it may sneak into the games with gold or the free games of the month for PlayStation Plus. Either way, it's probably going to be worth it. This is a great game. It came out way back in 2009 on the Xbox 360. It was part of the Summer of Arcade promotion, which was a really cool promotion that Microsoft put on. They would basically just announce a whole host of indie games, and every single week they'd have a new high-quality indie title coming out that seemed to get better every single week, and Shadow Complex sort of was the marquee or pinnacle game for that particular promotion in 2009. This is a Metroidvania title. It's a phrase that I'm not super keen on, but it's this 2D side-scroller exploration. You get new abilities, new gear, and that allows you to open previously inaccessible areas of a very large map. And if you've ever played Castlevania Symphony of the Night or any of the new Castlevanias on the Game Boy Advance or Metroid itself, Axiom Verge, whatever the case is, you probably know exactly what type of game this is. When you use the word remastered, I guess I expect something a little bit different than what's on display in this game. They don't retool much of this game at all. It feels and it looks and it performs like it's sort of that old Shadow Complex running on a PC. And they haven't been super clear on if they made any changes or additions or whatnot, but it just feels like old Shadow Complex. And that's not a bad thing. It just don't expect to go in and expect the game to be remastered from the ground up or anything, because that's definitely not the case here. Like I said, this is running in 4K on the PC, as you can probably tell, and the performance is a little bit hit or miss. I'm running this on a Titan X graphics card. I actually have 4 of those Titan X's, but I don't believe this game uses SLI at all. So it's running on one card at 4K with everything maxed out. Even though the game looks pretty simplistic, it doesn't perform super well. Once you get into tight quarters, the game runs at a really super solid 60 frames a second. However, in these open areas where there's a lot of foliage, running water, things like that, lighting effects, the game bogs down a little bit, which is disappointing. I get down to about 45 frames per second on occasion. What I'm going to do in a second here is enable fraps, so you can see in the upper left-hand corner some of the frame rate weirdness that I'm getting. The game doesn't seem to be incredibly optimized, and maybe it's not meant to be played in 4K with ultra settings. I don't know, but it's just not performing as well as I'd hope, especially when you look at something like Just Cause 3, which is a really phenomenally looking game, and that runs at a pretty solid clip for me. I have no problem with playing that game in 4K max settings, so it's a little bit of a bummer, but you know what? It doesn't impact the game in any material way. It still feels smooth, it feels solid, so you can't really complain too much about it. It looks old too. If you look at this game, you can definitely tell it's from 2009. A lot of the character models look pretty weird, blocky, poor animations, weird hair, things like that. The environment is very blocky. It's low poly, you can tell for sure. Some of the textures look old. You can see some weird clipping on some of the arms and things like that. So don't expect this to be a ground up remaster of Shadow Complex, because that's not what you're going to get. But if you like the original, if you like that 2009 version, you're going to really like this. It controls very, very nicely on the PC. I'm playing it on one of the new Xbox Elite controllers, which is awesome. The game just feels really great. It holds up for sure, which is hard to believe since the game came out in 2009, and we've received a lot of really good Metroidvania titles since then, including the aforementioned Axiom Verge, Ori and the Blind Forest, a lot of really, really great games that have come out since. The game still does hold up. It's got a cool story. It's got a cool setting. This is not a setting that I've seen in a lot of other Metroidvania titles. Some neat characters and some awesome power-ups, which is always the most important thing in a Metroidvania title like Shadow Complex. It's a really great experience. So if you've never played it, if you didn't own an Xbox 360 and never purchased Shadow Complex, don't miss it. Don't miss this game. It'll give you many, many hours of enjoyment. It's really, really well done, and I'm really happy to see that they are bringing this game back and giving people who might not have tried it the first time a chance to play one of the best games on the Xbox 360, which is saying a lot because the Xbox 360 was a pretty good gaming console. So definitely check it out. Free on the PC, no brainer. Just go out and download it, risk-free, give it a try, see what you think. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul. Same thing on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. If you don't know what Shadow Complex is, but you like Metroidvania titles, buy the game. It's really, really, really good. So thank you guys so much for watching. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this video to play out for a few more minutes so you can see a few examples of different environments and make your decision that way. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. That is going to allow me to keep bringing you videos like this in the future, and that's definitely something that I want to do. So hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Are you playing Shadow Complex? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of it? How's the performance? Are you enjoying it? Have you ever played it before? I want to know. So let me know all that in the comments below. And as always, we'll catch you next time.
And then you'll change your tune.
You just had to be right, huh, Dad?